This might be the most important aspect of colonizing Mars. What is our logo gonna be? Space America? Aliens? Space communism? It's actually called that. How about this? Don't panic. That'll instill confidence. Why is my rocket called Friendship? That's stupid. Stupid number one. That's not stupid. Stupid sexy space. I love space. There it is, the red planet in all of its magisterial redness. Now, if we had chosen Space USA and we landed on Arabia Alpha, we would have found oil, but we didn't. Wow, look at those resources. Now, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring today's video. Surviving Mars Relaunched is going to be out on November 10th. You can find out more by finding the game on Steam or using the link in the video description below to get it for yourself. Now let's get back into the action. Now this says I'm a rocket scientist, but I can assure you, beautiful, smart, intelligent viewers, I am not. So we have to find a landing area, and man, does this place look beautiful. We've got an anomaly in a source of concrete, but what we need is, well, metal and water. And I've got 4 orbital probes. Imagine playing Minesweeper, but instead of blowing up, you actually increase your chances of survival. That's nice and flat, and empty and devoid of anything good. Fantastic. But there are 19 metals there. Wow, swing and a miss. Now, sunk cost fallacy says we should keep going. Oh my god, this is terrible. Concrete metals, and we still haven't found any water. Cough. Hey, look, it's me again. Well, we know that this place sucks. I mean, how would we know that? Time travel. Look at that. We found metals and underground metals, as well as concrete. Come on, baby, where's that water? This is nice and flat. An anomaly. Oh, we did it! First try. I love when it happens the first try. We're totally lucky, and it's not like we use time travel, aka restarting the game to get the good stuff. Now we gotta plant. We gotta plant a rocket ship, just like a beautiful little plant. Underground rare metals, and like, look at this. These metal deposits. Metal deposits everywhere. I'm thinking if we put our first rocket ship like right here, so that, you know, if it crashes here against this mountain, that would be really bad, right? Look, don't panic, guys. We're gonna be just fine. We have a not rocket scientist in charge of an operation that uses rockets and science. And there they are. Our beautiful army of artificially intelligent drones. You guys could park a little bit better, you know that, right? But look at these cute little ones. Hello there. It's time to get to work and never stop because you're robots. Please never turn on me. Now, ultimately, our goal is to terraform Mars. Now, this is interesting. Explorer AI will increase our scientific output. Our sponsor right now is providing 300 magical potions. I believe as a scientist, that's what these are called. So we're gonna start that first. Now that says for each RC Explorer, so we might wanna consider getting another rocket of more RC Explorers and just pump out the science. Now first things first, let's gather some metals. Ultimately our objective is gonna be this, building these biodomes. Welcome to the biodome, welcome to the future. But we need power, water, oxygen, and all of the materials to build the thing, which is polymers, concrete, metals. We don't have any of that stuff. RC transport number 1, you're gonna go gather the metals, and we'll just use a simple concrete extractor here. I love how we already found water on Mars on like Sol 1, aka day number 1. That's fantastic, we're brilliant. We did it first try. No one can say otherwise. Because history is written by the victors, and we kicked those guys out and rewrote the books with crayons. I mean, you could call it science. So this is an advanced Stirling generator. This thing's gonna be big buku bucks. We're gonna power, and look at my little army of drones are gonna effectively, I wanna say 3D print, but that's not entirely true. Now, one of the other cool things you can do is check this out. We're gonna open it, and it's gonna be producing like more power than it would otherwise. Basically double, because 80 is double of 40. That's math, I'm a rocket scientist. I know these things. And remember, when you listen to me, just don't panic. Trust me, bro. So this thing is loaded with resources. Polymers, electronics, and machine parts, all stuff that's, well, quite valuable. We're gonna wanna put down some supply depots. And over here, I actually want a concrete depot, since this is where the concrete is. So you can't have concrete, but you can have everything else. RC Explorer. What do we want you to explore? Go scan that anomaly, find out what it is. I mean, that could be water again, or it could be, I don't know, I guess in theory, Martian feces. It could be a number of different things, but we're gonna find out. And look, our little army of drones are unloading all of our more advanced materials, and they're powered by this guy, the RC Commander. And I have the option to put in a drone hub, but I don't know if I want that just yet. What I would really like is to get a metals extractor up, but it's too far from the domes, which is pretty impressive to be too far from something that we don't even have. But what they mean is too far from this guy. Oh, I'm so brilliant. If I would have put that right there, it would have worked. But what we can do is move RC Commander over here and sort of bridge this gap. And I like this. We've got like a lawnmower on ropes, and that's how we're generating concrete, but you know what? It works for me. This building requires colonists and is too far from your domes. Okay, so we'll definitely have to figure out where we want to get our domes. Oh, hot dog, another concrete. Now we're gonna create basically concrete waste over here. Hey, we've analyzed an anomaly. What was it? Well, we got research points, 250 of them, which is excellent. That really pushed us up in our unearthing of what it truly means to have AI-based robotic stuff. Now at this point, we might as well research the next anomaly. And it seems that we'll probably want to start generating excess power. Right now, we've got plenty of it from our Stirling generator. But you'll notice that we've got $26 billion. And for 100 million, we can get a supply pod, or we can use these cargo rockets. But the best thing's gonna be basically refueling this. It would need 50 fuel, so being able to refuel it would be, well, essential for long-term operations here on Mars. But you'll see here that we're gonna need prefabs, so clearly we've got a lot of work to do. But with water right here and rare metals, which are gonna be worth a lot of money to send back to base, we'll probably want our domes somewhere over here, which means I think putting power in and around this area would actually be a good idea. All right, so we're gonna begin powering. So here's the very beginnings of our power grid. Now, it's nighttime, which is why I built solar panels. They'll come on during daytime. That's how the sunlight works. And we'll want a sensor, which basically is gonna allow us like better scanning and advanced warning of incoming disasters like asteroids and dust storms and other things like that. All right, so now Big Daddy's coming back and dropping off 30 metal. We've already got 48, but now we're just gonna have a lot more. And he can go out and get more. So let's explore the area around us. And if we wanted to call it another rocket and get in prefabs, as well as RC explorers to do science, let's get our fuel refinery. That's gonna cost $200 million. $1.2 billion in explorers. There we go, 69,000. Stupid, sexy space number 2 is being launched. Come on down. Now we'll have to refuel 2 of them to get them back, but that's not a real problem for me. Right? Or I guess it is. We're already about 30% of exploring this little sector right down here. So there might be more resources, might be more water. Now this is gonna take a little bit of time since I put all the resources way up here, but I'm okay with it. It only needs 6 concrete and 2 machine parts. From there, we'll probably wanna just store it and we'll connect it. So water's being produced. Now remember, like, water is gonna be essential for our first dome. We randomly have 8 metals over here. So now we'll be able to start producing water before we need it. And we've got Earth Council. Let's prepare or enact a law. Sure, man. Additional rewards for exploring sectors. We're gonna prepare that, put that out there. That's gonna be helpful to keep me in power of this budding colony. Now, since this is gonna be our nexus, we've got our rocket right there. I want to put this big guy, AKA the drone hub, right over here. It says not enough power, but we'll be able to connect it to the grid. And now we'll have drones over here to do work. We just need to connect it to our power. Look at that, we did it. Oh, and we also scanned? Okay, so not a whole lot's there. I guess a little bit of metal, but we're checking this one and we'll just keep doing it. And we've got another rocket to land. And this one's gonna have our fuel refiner prefab. Yeah, there it is. It consumes power and water. Our power grid is solid. Oh, sweet. And robotics AI, okay, so remember that we're putting out 300, right? And we just jumped up to 580. We've almost doubled our research output. We also have a little bit of a boost here on mostly having our advanced Martian engines done, which means these guys are gonna require less fuel, so we're gonna research that. I'm starting to get really excited. Logistical problems, heavy drone workload. Not connected to the water grid. Well, you are now. So now let's just get our explorers on all the anomalies. And you know what? We've got one over here, so you're gonna find it. You're gonna run out of battery and we're gonna have to go get you, but that's just gonna make our journey more exciting. Okay, we just found another anomaly. Ooh, look at this. Another anomaly. We could probably use a few more drones. Every time we land a rocket, it kicks up dust. So we're gonna build one of these for the future for our third rocket. It's eventually gonna get here. Let's get our fuel going. We are producing 1 fuel. Research is already done. We are crushing this. So before it was gonna take 50 fuel, now it only takes 30 fuel. We're only on day 4. And we already have some done. This is fun. All right, so we're just gonna get that one done. I love being able to just like spam out research. Eureka! So this sounds like we were having a problem, probably because of my, scientific prowess. And it actually turned into an opportunity. So we could get 100 research. Wait, gain 100 total? We now have 680 total because we got an extra 100 sponsored research a month. I felt like that was gonna be the best long term. Let's go get more metal. Oh man, I just realized this looks pretty cool. This reminds me of that wonder, the Eye of the Sahara, but it's the eye of, we've got Martian eyes. I'm gonna call that area the eyes. So we can create oxygen just using power. That's kind of wild. Now long term, this is gonna be the main artery to our dome. Dare I say it, I think we might be ready to place down our first dome. Blocking objects. What is this? Oh, metal deposits. That's gonna be easy enough. Hey, we just found a beautiful vista. 50 new applicants are available on Earth because they're like, wow, we heard it's not just all red dust to look at, but instead beautiful edifices of rock. Yeah, sign me up. Which, I guess that's fair. I still want to go to Mars theoretically, but in practicality, I don't know if I do yet. Even though I'm here already as a rocket scientist. Yeah, get rid of that rock. We got to put a dome there. The metals are being harvested. All right, so now for our next research. Ooh, we're using these quite a lot right now. These dudes to gather up all the metal and get stuff out of the way. So we are going to upgrade them. Now it is time for our first dome. This is a big, well, it's one small step for man, one giant step for, it's awesome, okay? And it's connected to our grid here. So let's run the power. Oh, it's a little awkward. Oh, never mind, that's not the gate. Perfect. Here's the little gates in and out. Now, how are we doing on refueling? I still only have production per soul. Okay, we can produce 12 fuel. Let's go ahead and we're currently using the fuel to refuel. I mean, obviously, I knew that. I knew that. I know what I'm doing. Let's prepare diplomacy. Okay, so here we go. We need to build a dome. Well, I'm glad that we are gonna do that. We're for sure gonna be able to do that. Okay, we just need the polymers. Uh-oh. We have the polymers. We have the concrete. And we have the metal. What we need is more drones. All right, so we found some more rare metals, but no more anomalies and no more sources of water or like metals in the ground. This is probably where our second dome is gonna go. Power grid is solid. We're producing 95 and only needing 22. You know what I could do? If we drop off the metal here, they should be able to just like, get them from around here. Oh, I know exactly what we need to do. Pick up the concrete and we'll drop it off down here. This will make work easy. Buddy, step. All right, pick up the concrete. Yeah, because right now we're doing this really long conga dance. And we got to do this within 2.5 days to build our dome. I remember the first time I played this, it took forever to get my first dome. And now it's just like, this is easy. This is awesome. One of the things that's taking so long to refuel these is we're technically refueling both of them. This one's at 28 out of 30 and this one's 23 out of 30. Oh, what's that? A meteor just landed right here. Oh, how sweet. We need to reprioritize all this because I want to figure out what's there. And we'll dump the concrete over here. Now, with the next rocket, I'm not sure what prefabs we're going to want to do, but hey, look at that. We refueled the rocket. Let's go ahead and launch it. Send it back. See you later. Although we probably are going to want more drones because we've got logistical problems. And this one's going to be ready to send back pretty soon as well. I want to get 1,000 research. So the next rocket is going to be sent. Rare metals price cost 25 million. Laws upkeep is 0. Total exports are 0. All right, we're going to go get more concrete. So concrete is definitely going to be heavily used for dome construction. So we might want to set one up over here. And by we might, I mean we definitely do. All right, another sector scan. We found some metals and some rare metals. I think we're gonna be able to get rich. I just do. Popping rare earth metals back so long as we keep refueling. What on earth is that? Geysers? Like geological rumors. The colony of Russia is going to complete the following. Construct a dome. Oh my goodness. Do we have faster dome construction? Oh, I love this. We're gonna be able to get even more research. Yes, please. All right, you know what? They're kind of, the Russians are trying to beat me, man. I should be, oh man. Yeah, I think you only need, there we go, that's enough. Come on, guys, we gotta do this. We gotta beat the Russians to build the dome. This makes it so much more exciting that, like, we're not the only ones here on Mars. There are 3 other colonies. Haha! And I built my first dome, and we beat the Russians to it. Well, we built the dome. Complete the following. Build a dome. We did. And this rocket's ready to go back. So we're gonna launch it, but now we have orphan drones. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and set Big Daddy back over here. And let's request, we should have done this before. I want 1 more RC commander, and I want 2 drone hubs, and I want 3 more RC explorers just for the science. I'll request 1 of each of these. And what are we short on? I guess polymers, really. So we'll just fill this up with polymers. Give me more stuff, number 1. All right, it's launching from Earth as this one departs. And I'm gonna call it in, obviously, on our landing platform so we don't have these, you know, issues. So now we gotta deal with, like, the laws, man, and politics. Rocket travel time is reduced. Yes, we need that. Now we've got another faction opportunity. Build a new dome within 5 souls. We should be able to do that. And honestly, that's really what we're here to do anyway. Oh, bummer, this rock is in the way. You know, we should have rotated this. Oh, I can build it on top of these rocks. This is gonna be my farming dome anyway. I think we'll need a terraform. So stupid sexy space finally made it back to planet Earth. The next thing we're gonna need, I think, is a dozer rover. Wow, that's 3,000 research. Elon Musk, what are you doing here? This is my Mars, bud. Another sector scan, but not a whole lot has been found there. And meteor just landed near the eyes. Spooky. So my next dome is gonna be so I can mine these metals. All right, I've decided this is where the second one's gonna go. And we have 4.5 days to get the second dome, so we're definitely gonna be fine on timing. We might even be able to land the other rocket ship. So it's daylight again. Power's going up to 95. I guess we only have the 3 solar panels, and then this, an advanced Stirling generator. Ooh, and it needs polymers for maintenance. We definitely need to get polymer production up or just request an absolute poop ton from Earth. But this thing should be going up pretty soon. All right, our rocket is here. Well, it's coming. And first, more research. But this should put science up over 1,000. 850. First human on Mars? Ooh, we have some time to get there first. We have 1 day. I don't think we're gonna do that. Yeah, I guess it's time to put, like, all the stuff we're gonna need in the dome, right? So we're gonna have some living complexes. The Russians are gonna beat us there. I mean, I hate to say it. You know, they sort of did the thing with the space race again. And now I have all these, like, RC explorers that have nothing really to do. Ooh, except get this anomaly. Can I do multiples on the same anomaly? That'd be hilarious. Yes, I can. Anomaly H2. Now, does that mean, like, there's dihydrogen there? Or hydrogen I guess dihydrogen? Or is that, like, just this sector is called H2? I think, yeah, okay. I was like, where's helium at? There we go. So that should be the last bit of concrete right here. And now it gets built up. So our second dome is up. I want to turn one into, like, a farming dome. And this thing's already refueled. So let's send it back. And look at this. I love how we have a landing pad. It looks so much nicer than these other 2. Now we've got to connect these 2, but I can do a passage. Oh, wait a minute. We just had a massive breakthrough. Unlock giant crops which have increased food output. Lower amount of workers in factories. Ooh, right now we need food. So I'm going to take huge food. So here we are. The Earth Council. Paradox Interactive is on it with 2 seats. ARC is on it with 2. Russia, the IMM, and then us, Project Utopia, with, fortunately, we have 10 seats. Yay, we passed our vote. Research the live from Mars tech. That's this one. All right, should be able to do that. I still think it's kind of sad that the Russians got their humans to Mars before us. What could it mean? What were they researching? Well, Russians beat us, but that's okay. Now we need some people in our dome, so let's get some houses. And water production and demand might start going up. We have moisture evaporators, and we have 2 of them. They just need to be placed kind of like far away from each other. So I wonder if that's far enough. All right, so after those 2 moisture generators go in, I'm curious what our life support will be. We also have the single Moxie. Now that being said, it's time. I think it's time to just go for it. Send in the passengers. So we got some geologists, engineers, scientists, and then a couple generalists. It's filled up. Wait, we got 9 out of 14 of these people are vegans. All right, they're on their way. And then they'll start working this farm. I guess we could also call in a supply rocket with food. We do have the money. Wow, that's expensive. So is this a volcano or is that just like snow? I wonder if this number 4 is gonna have a decent amount of water as a result. So the research was completed on this live from Mars social thing. And guess we'll wanna unlock food in a farm. Then we can replace these. These are actually like not the most efficient. So it begs the question, how long will it take us to research the farming? Will we get there before the first people get here? Will our supply rocket? I guess the answer is yes. Now that was a waste of a few polymers and a few metals. I have it on good authority that these are actually better. That's why I'm in charge, to make decisions and then immediately go back on some of them. Wait a minute. I need decommission protocol. Imagine coming here and be like, hey, yo, nice broken stuff. I made mistake. There it is, decommission protocol. We'll work on that one next after the farm. And we definitely need a sensor over here. Oh, wow. Power is up. Power demand. I'm pretty sure I asked for an advanced Stirling generator. Oh, they come with food. Synchronized rocket ship landings. You ready for it? You ready for this beauty? Behold. Oh. Remember, guys, don't panic. We're totally fine here. So we can hold 28. That's good. We do want a research laboratory. We'll want a small grocer and a small space bar. And look at that. There's our people. All like, hey, we want jobs. We need to make our money. A new beginning. Let's increase research from domes. Or I mean, at least try to vote for that. Oh, this is cool. I can set an embassy on my dome, which is quite literally amazing. It requires a lot of stuff. I'm gonna do it because that just seems awesome. And we're about to uncover the secrets of this sector, which appear to be nothing. Little anticlimactic. So the farming is done. These are pretty big, and we don't know how many they're gonna employ just yet. Increase Paradox Interactive's approval. Build a new sensor tower. That should be easy enough. I'd say that by playing this game, I'm definitely increasing their approval. So this is the planetary view. So here's Don't Panic, here's Paradox, here's the Space Ark, here's the Russians. We can launch SETI satellites, capture meteors, or have high-speed communication satellites. Is there anyone else? No, we're all sort of like all in this little nook right here, this triangle. Wait, I can do covert ops in Russia? Steal drones, steal technologies, sabotage, or nothing for now. What if I wanted to steal their tech? I'd have to send a rocket. I think that's amazing that you can do it, and now Mars is like this big populated area. The space race is on here in surviving Mars. So the farm is on, and we could have a second shift for it, but it's producing 16 food. And we do have people doing research. So research is over 1,000 right now. And in any Paradox game, research is always very important. You gotta get those numbers up. These are probably rookie numbers, but I'm pretty proud of them right now. But our embassy doesn't have enough people. I mean, we have an abundance of food. Look at that, oh my gosh, look at, this thing is already almost maxed out. But we're gonna offload all of the food and then refuel this sucker and then send it back. Which begs the question, is it time to get some rare metals? The answer is, it is. So for rare metals, oh, we can for sure do this. We just need a mining. We'll put it right next to it, make that a priority, and we'll run power to it. Ooh, I also have an advanced Stirling generator. Yeah, another one of these. This should power it. All right, we need to do some research. Oh, we got a breakthrough tech. Giant crops. We should do that right after getting the terraforming dozer. I want to request one of those and like start scrapping some of these rock sections so that we can expand the dome network. And I could get another 12 people. Okay, power is just crushing it right now, and watch this. Yeah, expose the cores. Now that I think about it, it might be time for some more batteries. Ooh, each completed milestone increases the export price. We're about to start doing that, so that's gonna take my vote. And it passed. Now once we can, I guess we can send both of these up. Rare metals. Stores 180 of these things. The problem is, this is where, okay, I'm gonna have to build a new landing pad maybe? Okay, Russia liked that. Extractors don't ask questions, they provide. Okay, Russia, you do your thing. Another scan. Oh, this has a research site, 20% research boost. Now we are gonna send one of these home. Oh wow, you have all the polymers. We're gonna have rare metals and put them right here. We'll have one of our transporter boys. Where are you at? I'm putting a diner in here. Woo, we did it. I don't know what we did. Oh, we harvested food on Mars. That's what we did. Yeah, all right, we're self-sustaining. Let's get these people here. Let's get more people. Okay, we have to sustain these people's lives before we can request more, which makes sense. They wouldn't want to send more people and then be like, wait, everybody died because that not rocket scientist was in charge. No more anomalies. I really would like my anomalies. Okay, good. We do have people working the mines, but where are our minerals? Yeah, I've got not enough workers for most of my stuff. Build first, ask questions later. Wow, we only produce 1.5 of these per soul. That's not a lot. Okay, so that's gonna take an eternity to get our money. I can gather polymers. That's one of the asteroids. Meteorites. That's cool. I do enjoy that. All right, so here's the situation. Oh, we have an anomaly. Everybody, go do your thing. Ooh, and we got water down in the crater. So we gotta decide what we wanna do next. Hey, we have one rare metals production somewhere out there. Load this thing up with rare metals. It's gathering the exports. Okay, we've got 3 total. That'd be 150 million. Not a lot, but it's also not nothing. Crop failure? Oh, why? What happened? That's not ideal. That is not ideal at all. Look at that. When life gives you lemons, see? We may have had a crop failure, but apparently that was a good thing. I love how all of our mistakes so far, or all of our issues, have turned into something positive. So this is the situation. We've got multiple domes on Mars. We're almost past the founder stage. And I would say that across the board, things are going well. We're even gonna be able to get our first export. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and launch this sucker. He's ready to go. We're gonna make about, I think, 200 million from rare earth Martian metals, but that makes us a viable business, okay? Mars Enterprises, you send us your people, we'll send you back valuable metals. Oh man, we've got valuable veins of rare metals. Look at that. Okay, we got 104 million. I was off by about 2x, but we made some money. I think that's a major win here. I thought that was like, when you look at it from space, that looks like fire or something. So let's just send the convoy of our research explorers back home. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the very beginning of our Martian colony. Once again, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring today's video. Remember that Surviving Mars Relaunched releases on November 10th. You can get it for yourself and find out more using the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.